Thank you, John. Good afternoon to the family and friends of the BAM family. On behalf of Mart, Digby and Kath, Jess and Luke, AJ and Lindsay, and grandchildren Olive, Trent and Bryn, I wish to convey the sincere and heartfelt appreciation for your attendance of Jennifer Ann Bam's memorial today, who left us after a long illness at 6:45 on Friday, the 30th of July. But before we continue, please spare a thought for Faye and her entire extended family, who has not only lost a sister, but her father, Mick Christie, in the same week of Anne's passing. We all extend our sincere condolences during this extremely difficult time. Anne spent many wonderful years in Ikopo, raising a family on Kaora. She's a person who gave everything of herself to her family and friends, and even to those with whom she had a fleeting greeting. Words just don't seem to give justice to this wonderful woman. If one could describe Anne in one sentence, it would be a woman who loved everyone and gave of herself unconditionally. You'll be sorely missed, and thank you for the beautiful memories. The memorial is going to be as per order of service, placed on the chairs, and some of you may have collected them as you entered the hall. And they were so beautifully put together by Lindsay. Thank you. And I will then invite the respective family member and friends appropriately to convey their tributes to Anne. Thereafter, AJ will give a few words, and I would like to finish off with a poem. Beezy and Linda, would you mind coming forward? Thank you.
Hi everyone. Martin, your whole family, Faye and all the nephews and nieces, on behalf of everyone here, our hearts go out to you all. Martin, thank you for giving Linda and myself the honor of speaking about our lovely Anne. I don't need to elaborate much, but us Stone boys shared a big part of our growing up years with the Christie cousins. So now you know who influenced the Stone boys so badly. Oh, bluff. Linda and I and our children were farming neighbors and friends of the Bams for many wonderful years. So it really means a lot to have been asked to share today. Mart, Anne, Diggs, Jess and AJ. We were so blessed to have you guys be a special part of our lives while farming alongside you. I'm going to share a message from our daughter Cara, who lives in the UK and who truly loved Anne. This is from Cara. Martin family, I feel so blessed and privileged to be able to say something today through my dad. Anne was the most beautiful woman inside and out, and she touched my life in such an amazing way. 29 years ago, when she started the Kaora Pony Club. Anne was my first riding instructor at the age of 4, and she created in me a lifelong passion for horses. I have so many incredible memories, starting with the fun gymkhanas she would organize, or the show jumping competitions she would take us to. But my most memorable were the days with Jess, and that Jess and I would go out riding on our own, meeting halfway between our two farms, and then spending the entire day pretending that we were cowgirls and Kaora. We often would end our day down at the bush camp with Anne, and then we would head out the very next morning for another day of riding. Holidays were spent in the Berg with Mick and Anne, rounding up cattle or taking part in the annual Underberg Gymkhanas, where they always had wild donkeys for those willing to risk their lives. Well, Jess and I were always up to the challenge, making the day more eventful. The way Anne was with horses truly inspired me. She was so gentle, loving and caring, and she seemed to tame and calm a horse in such a beautiful way. This was a true testament to the person Anne was, a loving, caring, passionate woman who always put her family first. I'm truly grateful to Anne for the opportunities she gave me, but I'm most grateful to her for the lifelong friendship that I am now able to share with her family. I extend my love and sympathy to you all at this incredibly sad time. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Hello the family. Thanks again, Mart, for the joy and privilege of sharing today. It has been a heartbreaking journey for you all and for you, Faye. And this past week has been so sad with the loss of wonderful Mick too. Though our hearts ache today, we will celebrate this beautiful and amazing woman, Anne, or Annie, whom we all so loved and were so blessed to know. Mart, the first time I really heard about you was when I was a young, impressionable 19-year-old. And I was giving a friend a lift home from college to Ikopo for the weekend. This friend asked me if I knew the very eligible farming bachelor in our area, called Martin Bam, and whether Beezy and I were going to be at his house party that weekend. Clearly, this friend was smitten. But at the party, it was plain to see that your heart, Mart, was smitten by a very gorgeous Anne Christie. What a good move you made. And not only did your gorgeous Annie's beauty never fade, but we see it in you, Jessie, and your even more adorable little Olive. As young brides of the district, we were tasked with creating our gardens. To the younger generation listening today, you need to know that this was way more daunting than being a career girl in your passion. We were so clueless, but nevertheless we rose to the challenge, visiting one another to garner ideas, to take home slips, or to load up large, dug-up plants that put soil all over the boot of the car. But what a passion this became for Anne. She created such a stunning garden at Kaora, and a walk around Anne's Wedgwood garden shows so much creativity and gardening sophistication. It was wonderful for me to be in Anne's garden on Wednesday to pick for today's arrangements. One of the greatest joys in knowing Anne has been in sharing flower arranging experiences with her over the years, especially the weddings, where either Anne and Sal, and many a time Faye too, would work together in creating truly beautiful arrangements for the brides, as Faye's magnificent arrangement today shows. Today there is no doubt that gardens and beautiful flowers were inseparable from Anne's identity and from her beautiful personality. Mart, you and Anne created welcoming homes at Kaora and at Wedgwood, and Kaora was most certainly a home from home for many kids in the farming district, where they spent happy afternoons after school there or on weekends. In fact, these kids would quite happily have taken up permanent residence with Anne, given half a chance. Especially AJ's fellow musketeers, Robin and Patrick. Anne had such a wonderful influence on the children who were blessed to spend many happy hours in the Bam home. Some water, please. Some water. Yes, sorry, my mouth is getting dry. Anne's homes have always been filled with beautiful family photographs displayed in every room, even the kitchen, documenting their fun-filled lives and the incredible times they have all shared together. Anne was creative behind the lens, and she has taken some special photos of their children and grandchildren. And even the menagerie of dogs and wild creatures that continually flowed in and out of their lives, they have all been beautifully captured, like the mischievous meerkats displayed in the kitchen. In my cookery collection, I have a very well-used recipe entitled Anne's Asparagus Tart. She was a superb cook. Each of her farm kitchens flowed effortlessly with good food. I remember popping in unannounced earlier this year to drop off some flowers for Anne. And there were Mart and Anne enjoying a wonderful country lunch together. I was blown away because instead of me being the gift bearer to lift Anne's spirits, I left their home loaded with veggies from Anne's garden and our favorite marmalade from her industrious kitchen. It was such a joy to witness how Anne embraced life and all its blessings, despite the huge challenges that she had to face and overcome. A hallmark of the Christie family has always been generosity and goodwill towards others. And Anne, like her parents and siblings, had such a compassionate heart for others. Whether it was helping the poor in the rural communities, uplifting the staff in her kitchen, or extending a helping hand to a dear friend in need, nothing was too much trouble for Anne, and her home has always been a place of welcome and refuge. Anne had so much love and affection for others, and her exuberance for life was infectious. Anne handled her cancer so wisely and with such grace and determination, ensuring that she wasn't robbed of a single daily blessing. Through this past year, we saw a newfound peace growing in Anne, as she chose to live each day to its fullest. Because of this beautiful attitude, Anne was able to enjoy many days of good health, strength, and contentment, surrounded by her wonderful family and with the gentle devotion and companionship of her darling Mart. One can never measure the ripples of influence from a pebble dropped into a pond, just as none of us can know the impact we each have in the lives of others. Anne has been shown so much love in these past months, but I'm confident that she had little idea of just how much she was loved, how much she was valued and appreciated, and how much she has inspired and influenced all those who knew and loved her. Thank you, Anne, for dropping pebbles into the ponds of all our lives. You will be so sorely missed. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we acknowledge you today, and we give you thanks for every person who is here and online to show this precious family how much they love and support them, and how much they care at this very sad time. And we thank you for Anne's beautiful life. She has touched our hearts profoundly, Lord, both through her purposeful and well-lived life and through the unbearable challenges she faced together with her family. We ask you, Lord, that these precious families would find peace and strength to overcome this huge loss. May you meet their needs in the coming months, that someone will always be there when they need a close friend, that someone will always be there when they need guidance in the decisions they have to make, and that someone will always be there when their struggles become too great. May your love be in action all around them. Lord, even when we do not have the answers, we know that you, Lord, give perfect peace to all those who keep their purpose firm and put their trust in you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank you, Mart.
Thank you, Beezy and Linda. A message from Mart. Annie was a complete woman. Complete in the sense that 42 years ago, she made her own wedding dress, was chief cook, bottle washer, and bookkeeper at Kaora, and at the same time raising 3 children. An amazing woman. Hers was the spirit of adventure, courage, and determination, tackling everything from diving to playing a good game of bridge. She could turn any house into a loving home. AJ is doing the family thanks, but there is one person I must thank, and that is Russell Kirby. If there are angels on this earth, Russell would be one of them. Dearest Annie, I could not have found a better person in the whole world to share all those campfires with. Rest well, my love. Martin. Lionel, thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I've had the privilege of being part of the Christie family for the last 50 years. just have a few words I'd like to share with you today. Martin, thank you for sharing the last 40-odd years with Anne. Between the two of you, you have created a wonderful family and a legacy which most parents would be proud of. You and Anne have shared many wonderful memories together, which I'm sure you will cherish for the rest of your life. I was browsing through some pictures we have, and what struck me was the many happy moments you have shared in many different locations with many different people. That is what you and Anne have created. A strong core family, strong family relationships with the extended family, and great friendships that have lasted over many years. To the Bam family, thank you for taking such good care of your mum these last few years. It was so impressive to see how you stepped up to support your mom and dad during this really tough time. You really showed us all how committed you are to family, which I'm sure will have made your mom so proud. As you're all aware, Anne and Sally stepped in a few years ago to help Mick with the farm in Loteni. In true Christie fashion, they both jumped in with everything they had, with tremendous support from their husbands, and in the process transformed the cottage into a wonderful destination for their friends, family, children, grandchildren. Even though it was tough for Anne when she lost Sal, she soldiered on and has continued improving things there. We spent a weekend there about a year ago with Anne. It was tiring just watching her go about things. There was just non-stop movement for the whole day. And maybe that's why she had to have a glass or three of wine in the evening at the end of it. To her children and grandchildren, those that are old enough to understand, please remember to appreciate and acknowledge this effort. Your mom and your grand was doing this for you. Nick has always been very proud of his daughters. One of his favorite moments was when three of his daughters, Faye, Anne, and Sally, lined up in the girls' collegiate first hockey team together. He has kept that picture on his wall for 40 years and boasted about it whenever he could. Anne and Martin have been wonderful in helping to care for Mick over the years, and especially in recent times. And for that, I'd like to thank both of you. Faye, thank you for taking such good care of Anne. You're amazing how you're able to throw your heart and soul into these situations and still come out in one piece. We have lost many loved ones in this family, as you know, and our thoughts are with you. In closing, on hearing of Anne's passing, my mother-in-law commented that it doesn't matter what you believe about the afterlife, she's damn sure there's a hell of a reunion going on somewhere. Thank you.
Would Diggers might please come up?
Good afternoon, everyone. In different circumstances, it would have been lovely to see all of you here. As you probably all know, I wasn't the most well-behaved youth, and certainly was the cause of Mum and Dad's early grey hairs. I can't imagine there are many siblings out there that can say they had a wonderful upbringing as Jess, AJ and I did. From having the best time with our cousins and neighbours in the community to our amazing Cape Verde and Mozambique holidays. We were definitely blessed with both a wonderful mother and father. I was sent to Cowan House at age 7 and can still remember my mum singing, "You are my sunshine, you make me happy when skies are grey." Every week without a fault, I would have a letter tucked amongst my clothes telling me that she loved me and that 5 days was not that long of a time. My lovely mum was such a brave soul, and not once during this terrible fight with cancer did she complain or show signs of fear of death. Even at the end of her days, she would still ask me about my insurance and my truck. It just shows the character of the lady. She was so selfless and caring, always worrying about me and taking an interest in my life. Some of the best memories as kids of mum was her love of horses, and she taught us all how to ride pretty well, thanks to her. Even with her grandkids, always getting to enjoy a ride in the Berg. Mum, I just want to say I love you so much. You never gave up on me through all my numerous dramas. My biggest regret is that you won't get to meet my son, and all I can keep thinking is life is not fair. He would have been so lucky to have a granny like you. Dad, the last year or so have been hell for you. You truly have shown your true colours and were absolutely amazing to Mum and by her side constantly, and not once did I hear you complain. Mum, we are going to miss you dearly. You were my rock, and the only light at the end of the tunnel is that you can be with your 3 lovely sisters and amazing father and mother. Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks, Diggers. AJ, thank you.
Whenever I need to do a speech or a presentation or something, I have this silly ritual where I repeat in my head, cometh the hour, cometh the man. I've been repeating that since Tuesday morning, so hopefully it gets me through this. Mum, nothing I could say will do justice to the beautiful person that you were. Words simply cannot describe what she meant to me and to us as a family and to all of you here today. Her passing fills me with sadness for all the experiences and moments that we won't be able to share with her, and obviously she with us. But in the same breath, I realize that we are so lucky to have such happy, wonderful memories of my mum, and I'm grateful for these. Excuse me. I'll cling tightly to these moments, Mum, when the going gets tough without you. Luckily, there are many happy memories to get us through the years ahead. As Dig said, Mum and Dad provided us with a wonderful upbringing. Growing up at Kaora was truly something special that we'll cherish forever. Mum, you created a home that was full of love and warmth, where friends and family were always welcome. I'll remember you as kind, calm, and laid back, but also fiercely loyal to those you loved, and so generous with your love and your time. My wife Lindsay told me about a book she read called The 5 Love Languages. She explained that there are essentially 5 primary expressions of love, and one of them is acts of service. And I think this describes your love language to a T. You love to help and serve others, especially those who needed it most. You were so many people's champion. In your own unique and special way, you positively influenced the lives of so many who really needed it. You did it not with an outpouring of gushy love or affection, but rather the less flashy and more genuine way of showing support. You were always present and aware of people's feelings, and had space for everyone and everything that came with them. So many people over the years have told me how grateful they are to you for helping and caring for them in their time of need. You had time for everyone, Mum, and always with genuine compassion. You truly were wonderful. Sorry, I'm just going to blow my nose quickly. Can't deny that we've had a privileged life, but what made my mum the happiest was often the simplest of things, like spending hours of gardening in your jammies on a misty morning, or taking the dogs for a walk, or vino with friends, or spending quality time with family and friends in the place that was most special to you in this world, and that was Luteni. Along with Sal and others in the family who shared her love for the Berg, she's transformed it into such a special place for the whole family to enjoy for another generation. After my mum's diagnosis, she made it her mission to get all the family members to plant an indigenous tree along the road leading to the entrance to the cottage. This is such a beautiful addition to the Berg and a lovely legacy that she leaves behind. My mum also started a garden of remembrance for all the special people in our family who have passed away. It has the most incredible view over the Luteni Valley, and so it'll be so special for us to add a plaque for her and for our special grandpa Mick, so that we can remember them in the place that they loved so much. Throughout her journey, I've been absolutely astounded at the bravery she showed. I did not see her complain or feel sorry for herself, even once. And in fact, as Dad said recently, she was often the one guiding us through this journey and gave us strength on the hardest of days. Mum's selflessness, humility, and pragmatic attitude throughout this ordeal is a true testament to her character and makes me so proud to be her son. Most importantly is she never lost her sense of humor right to the end. You were an incredibly loving and supportive wife to Dad, and an irreplaceable mother to Jess, Diggs, and I, and the most adoring, devoted grandmother to Olive, Trent, and Bryn. What a privilege it is for these three to have known you. The bond you shared with Olive was incredibly special, and the love and devotion you showed to Trent and Bryn was equally beautiful to witness. To end, Mum, we all love you so much, and more than words can actually describe. This loss is hard to comprehend, but I know you would want us to rather focus on the good times and forge ahead with our lives as best we can. And we promise to do that in your honor. Love you lots.
Thanks, AJ. Brian Hancock will read a message on behalf of Helen. Thanks, Brian.
Hello, everybody. This is from Helen, who's in Singapore and unfortunately can't be with us at the moment. Anne. Nobody outside of her beloved family knew Anne as well as she knew herself. Anne was born beautiful, confident, and self-assured. This permeated every facet of her life, from her homes, her gardens, her hobbies, her holidays, and her friendships. Anne had an incredible sense of style and place, and with Martin created amazing homes and gardens at Kaiora, Wedgwood, and Luteni. Each of them gracious, beautiful, and welcoming. Her hospitality was effortless,
and even a cup of tea on her veranda was an occasion. The real occasions happened after the sun went down. A glass of vino and Johnny Clegg is often how these parties started. There was always an exciting buzz in the Bams home that I know so many others loved being a part of. Every visit with Anne was fun and memorable and something I looked forward to. Anne's absolute self-confidence was contagious, and in our many years of friendship, I found myself in a situation like advanced bridge games that I had no right to be at. Somehow her confidence spilled over, tipped the balance, and the games turned from trepidation to fun. In saying that as well, Anne was an absolute maestro at board games and cards, bridge, Scrabble, Word, you name it. She knew it, and played it well. Anne simply never doubted that her life was for living to the full, which she did. Holidays played a large part of her life and were usually adventurous expeditions across Africa, taking on destinations that most would shy away from. From Pumen to Botswana, these meticulously planned expeditions were incredible fun. They were adventurous and often had a frisson of danger creeping into them. The memories that I have from just a couple of these trips that I was fortunate to be part of were life-enriching, and I can't help but think that Anne would have had these memories and experiences 100-fold. Knowing this gives me peace of mind. Together with Mart, she gifted Digby, Jess and AJ with a lifetime of cherished memories that many would dream of. People gravitated to Anne regardless of age, religion, status, or any other demographic. She had an absolute knack of treating ordinary people like kings and kings like ordinary people. She amplified the good she found in people and had an amazing cross-section of friends. Her friendship was 1 in a million, and I feel incredibly lucky to have had it. As I know, do so many others here today. This love had no limits and extended to her children's friends and her friends' children. This is evident in a few of the hundreds of tributes that I've seen pouring in over the last few days. So many saw her as their second mum. She welcomed, listened, and provided a safe but fun space for all. This naturally kind nature spilled out onto a larger community. From taking textbooks and stationery to Mozambique for the less fortunate, to contributing towards plastic recycling initiatives in her community. Her true dedication to charities was made evident to me one very hot summer's morning when I found myself above a mechanical workshop on Victoria Road, helping her unpack and sort second-hand clothes for a charity. All of this was done with Anne's signature light touch, and never because she felt she ought to. Being kind was simply Anne. Anne, your life was epic and inspirational. You will be missed sorely, but you have given us the most fantastic memories and standards by which to live. We won't let you down. And just a short word from me to Martin. Martin, loss presents itself in many forms, but your loss is the greatest. There are no rules to dealing with it. Anne was a good woman, and I know her soul will be with you forever. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Corin?
Good afternoon, and thank you to each one of you for being here and your love for our Annie. Today, we are celebrating the life of our remarkable Annie. No words can describe the loss we are feeling, but Anne would want us to be happy today and move on. How do we even begin to portray one of the most down-to-earth, dignified, confident, and caring women, whom we all looked up to and treasured her friendship? Annie loved her family and extended family unconditionally and never complained during her illness. She had accepted her destiny and continuously reassured her family and prepared them for the future. Mart, you have been absolutely amazing in the way you took care of Anne's every need. We thank you. Anne was a very talented tennis player and a very accomplished horsewoman, mentored by her father, Mick. And she too coached many friends' children in Ikopo, who have very fond memories of Anne. She loved cooking, entertaining, and her garden, and shared many a recipe or plant or glass of wine or 2 or 3 with friends. Instead of being teary, Anne would not want us to be, please could you all try to cast your minds back to when you first met Anne and treasure the happy memories today and forever. This is what she would want. My first meeting with Anne was in 1980. We were both working for Barclays in our respective hometowns, Ikopo and Harding, and were at the training centre in Durban. I was invited to join Anne and Sally to go to a ballet at the Alhambra Theatre, and we decided we needed new shoes. After class, we rushed down to West Street, parked and made our purchase. On our return to the car, it had disappeared. Being country girls, it said clearly behind a tree, no parking between 4 and 5. Eventually, we found out that it would have been towed to somewhere near Kingsmead cricket grounds. In true country style, it was off with our shoes, and we walked all the way there. Anne was part of a group of women who were privileged to go away on girls' trips within South Africa and abroad. A few of those are sitting here today. After one of these trips to St. Francis, we started a group called Friends Forever, which we touched base on most days. Throughout Annie's illness, it was a source of us all keeping together, sharing laughs, memories, and pics of our grandchildren, which brought so much joy to our Annie. Thank you to all Anne's friends. She really treasured you all. If any of us dared on this group to put anything about COVID, we would get shouted down very promptly. It was not allowed on this group. From trips to the Kruger National Park, where Louise English had organized us really prime accommodation in Hamilton Camp, we decided we needed to have a party. It was just us and some Germans. Well, we moved Annie's car to the entrance of Hamilton Camp, moved a table to the entrance hall, put the music on, and had such a wonderful party. Another memory, and Janine Richmond is here today, was a trip to Turkey, where we just sunned ourselves on the galettes, floated in the sea, which Annie was absolutely passionate about doing. A message from Lynn Mackenzie, who's in the UK, an extremely good friend of Anne's for many, many years, and Jordan, her daughter, is here with us today. Your kindness and generosity, my special friend, has resonated through my girls and I for years. And we so appreciate every bit of time we were able to spend with you and all the memories which I hold close to me for the rest of my life. What a privilege it was to spend time with you on my recent trip back to South Africa, knowing it would probably be our last together. I promise to be there for your kids as you would have been for me. Rest easy, my special friend, until we meet again. Love you endlessly. A good friend is like a 4-leaf clover, hard to find and lucky to have. I would rather have had your friendship and lost it than never to have it at all. Your courage in adversity will forever be a beacon to me. Love, Jan, who could be with us today. In ending, I would like all of you to picture Anne floating in the sea. which she reveled in. While I read you a piece I was given by Jen Ortlip, who runs Harrington House, who together with a few others has organized this get-together of family and friends to celebrate our Annie's life and memory. I am standing upon the seashore. A ship at my side spreads her white sails to the morning breeze and starts for the blue ocean. She is an object of beauty and strength, and I stand and watch her until she hangs like a speck of white cloud, just where the sea and the sky come down to mingle with each other. Then someone at my side says, "There she's gone." Gone? Where? Gone from my sight. That is all. She is just as large in mast and hull and spar as she was when she left my side, and just as able to bear her load of living freight to this place of her destination. Her diminished size is in me and not in her. And just at the moment when someone at my side says, "There, she's gone," there are other eyes that are watching for her coming, and other voices ready to take up the glad shout, "Here she comes." Annie, be with your family. You've left one part of your family, but you're together with another family. My best friend, you will always be at my side. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Corin. Word of thanks from AJ. Thank you.
As sad as today is, I firmly believe that above all the sadness, today is about celebrating my mom's beautiful life. So thank you to all of you for being here today, whether physically or virtually, to celebrate with us. It really means the world to us as a family. I believe that through any challenge or adversity in life, there's something to be learned and something positive to take away. What I've learned, or what has been reaffirmed to me over the last few months, is that people in general are just innately kind and caring. The calls, messages, food, and flowers have been overwhelming, but so comforting at the same time. So thank you to all of you on behalf of our family. Thank you to each and every one of you who paid tribute to my mom today with speeches. It is obviously not easy, but we really, really appreciate it. To Juki, Jen Ortlip, and Nicole from Hamlins, you have made the organizing of this memorial an absolute breeze and have taken the stress and burden off of our shoulders, which is so appreciated. Thank you. I'm sure there are others involved with the organizing, and we thank you as well. Linz, who prepared the order of service cards and also organized the attendance register, thank you so much for what you have done over the last week and months. To all the ladies who made the venue look so beautiful today with all of these stunning flower arrangements. Linda, Faye, Pop, Drew, Carl, Cheeseman, Shelley, Margie, and Corin. Thank you so much. As Linda said, my mom loved getting involved with flower arrangements for any type of function, so I'm sure it gave you all some comfort knowing that she was there with you in spirit. To Beezy and Linda, apart from the very, very kind words and prayer today, I just need to extend another thank you to you for being such a massive support to our family, our immediate family, as well as the extended family. It really, really is appreciated. To Stuart and Corin, you two have been incredible over the past week. From keeping Dad busy to making sure the house was always organized and there was a meal for everyone. You have no idea how much this means to us. So thank you very much. To Hlengi, Tandi, Daniel and Sunny, we know that Mum was very, very dear to you as well. And you are also grieving, but you have carried on supporting us and working through these times, which we really, really appreciate. To the people who cared for my mum toward the end, Faye, Jess, Lindsay, you three were a pillar of strength for all of us while you were still having to cope with your own sadness and emotions. It was sad, but also very special. It was a sad but also very special time caring for our lovely mum-in-law and sister. To Russell, my father-in-law, I know you refuse to take any credit, but the care and dedication and time you sacrificed to be by my mum's side, caring for her is really phenomenal. You really went above and beyond, and we cannot thank you enough. As well as Robin, his wife. Robin, you have been an amazing, amazing support. We really, really appreciate it. Lastly, Dad, I just need to commend you on the way you took care of Mum from the start. You were totally dedicated to making sure she was always comfortable and taken care of. And you faced it head on with no questions asked. You really were amazing, and Kate can take solace in the fact that Mom was totally at peace and contented. You were together 24/7 over the last couple of months, which was really fortunate and a privilege for both of you. So thank you again to everyone for being here and for all of the support. Thank you.
Thanks, Ajay. In closing, I found a poem which epitomizes Annie and hope it will provide you all with some solace. It was written by David Harkins, entitled, "She Is Gone." You can shed tears that she is gone, or you can smile because she has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that she'll come back, or you can open your eyes and see all she's left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see her, or you can be full with the love you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember her only that she is gone, or you can cherish her memory and live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what she'd want. Smile, open your eyes, love, and go on. Thank you, everybody. That's the closing.